We've all been here before. You buy a breadfruit with the best intentions, whether to make breadfruit chips or oil down, whatever the case may be, and something get in the way, you didn't get to make what you intended to make, and the breadfruit end up passing on you or end up getting overripe. Well, today I'm going to show you a real nice recipe you could use or you could do to use overripe breadfruit. Real simple and real easy, so that we get into it one time. Trust me, this one will save your overripe breadfruit. So as you can see, this is an extremely overripe breadfruit, and as I said, no need to fret about it. We're gonna take this and utilize it and make a nice little breadfruit fritter with it. So just removing the core from the breadfruit. Now you want all the meat, so we're saving all the flesh of the breadfruit, and as you can see here, it is extremely soft, very overripe, but trust me, we're using all that. And now we're just gonna remove the skin from the outside. So just gonna place this into a bowl and start to break it up with my hands. Okay, so first step, let me get on to the next step of creating these nice breadfruit fritters. So because the overripe breadfruit is very sweet, you want to use, aromatics like onion, garlic, pimento, and that kind of thing to add some savory notes to balance off that sweetness. So I finally chop in one medium-sized onion, and I cut this as fine as possible. You don't want it too chunky. Also using 2 pimento peppers. Also adding 3 cloves of garlic. Also using a piece of Scotch bonnet pepper for heat in there. And again, the spiciness and the savory notes from the other aromatics will balance off that sweetness from the overripe breadfruit. Because there's not dessert that we're making here. So we don't want this to be overpoweringly sweet. We want it to be a balance of sweet, savory, and even spicy. And for the herbs, I just chop it up some shadow benny. So we add a little bit of oil to the pan. Now we add our aromatics. And we don't need to saute this for very long. Probably just a minute is all we need. Add in a pinch of salt, some black pepper. And we just want to saute this until the onions go translucent. So as I say, just about a minute or so. Alright, so I think we're good to go here. The onions translucent, the garlic is very fragrant. So I'm going to switch off my heat. Now we're just going to add our aromatics to the breadfruit. Add in our shadow benny. Giving this a mix. At this point, you want to trial piece and taste for salt. So you can definitely add a pinch of salt again and a pinch of black pepper. So at this point, you could easily portion these out into small balls or little cakes and fry them off, as I'm going to do in a bit, and make a totally vegan version of this dish. But I like to add eggs to it because the eggs gives it a nice little fluffiness And yes, that's for me a better finished product with the eggs. But again, if you wanted to keep this vegan and make it just like this, cook it just like this, it's totally fine. But my preference is to add the eggs. So we're gonna add some eggs to this. Just gonna crack 2 eggs into here. Just gonna incorporate that. Now you could see the texture beginning to change. So at this point I want to switch to a fork, and this will help me incorporate the eggs better into our breadfruit mixture. Oh, whisk in action. Alright, so now our batter is fully incorporated with the eggs, and as you can see, the texture is different. And as I said before, for me, I prefer this type of consistency. It's closer to akra. So you're gonna get a totally different final result to if you don't add the eggs. As I said, if you want to keep it vegan and just cook it without eggs, that's fine. But this is my preference here. So now, last thing to do is to actually cook off this. So you wanna have your frying pan on medium to low heat, add in a bit of oil to it, and then you just wanna use a spoon and portion these out in little cakes or little fritters. And you don't wanna cook this on high heat, medium to low heat, because you want it to cook right through, right? So, take your time, and about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, we should be good. All right, now I want to flip them, let them cook on the other side. So you have a nice golden brown color here. That's what we're looking for. Nice. And because we're shallow frying these, we don't want to make them too big or too tall, because we want the heat to cook the fritter right through. So don't go and make them too big where they cook on the outside, but then on the inside it's still raw. So you want to bear that in mind when you're portioning them out. Make them at a manageable size so that the heat could cook the fritter right through. Alright, and as easy as that, our breadfruit fritters are done. They are nice and golden brown. And a good tip, if you're not confident that they cooked right through after frying them, is you could pop them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes, and that will ensure that they cook right through. But if you make them flat enough, they should cook perfectly on the stove top. So I'm going to break it open there and let you see how the inside is. See, it's soft, nice, kind of bready. So you see, it's kind of like akra if you look at it on the inside. Nice and bready, and that is from the breadfruit, but also fluffy, and that is with the addition of the eggs. It's going in for a taste. Savory and a little spicy from the pepper that we added there. And I mean, you could eat this just so, or you could dip it in a little tamarind sauce, just like you would do akra. And yeah, so these perfect to make as a little snack, just like you would akra. It's perfect for breakfast. You could also have it as a little side dish with a meal. Real nice. And again, you can leave out the eggs and make it totally vegan if you want. But as I said, I like the little texture and that added fluffiness that the eggs add. I really like that. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a share. If you do try the recipe, share it with me online, would love to see. And of course, the full recipe will be posted in a link in the video description, so check out that. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mm-hmm.